Says the broadcast is live. Hi, I'm Gail.
And you're tuned in to
And
Gale
that's
Wars.
JD.
Welcome, everybody. It's a
Hello.
beautiful Monday, Florida. Gale is broadcasting from the bunker located somewhere under the swamps of Central Florida. I'm here in our retreat, which is a swamps, but nice little area. Thanks for joining us. We try to do a broadcast at least once or twice. We haven't been doing that much over the summer because it's just been too freaking hot here in Florida. Plus, I've been having a lot going on, but I think we're back on schedule, maybe, hopefully. Topics we're gonna try to discuss today. One of them is big news about cash. We're talking about real gold and real cash, if there is such a thing as real cash, seems to be disappearing from the planet.
Right.
But it's disappearing nonetheless. And then if we have, a little time left over after, I didn't grab a glass, some of our adult beverages, we might go on another topic. Not that we do politics or discuss what's going on in Ukraine and with Rudy Giuliani. Maybe we can squeeze that in. So other than that, how's your day been? How's your day been?
Been real busy. Went out for a family get-together last night at Golden Corral.
Oh, yeah. That's always good.
It
Eat
went
too much.
along real good until my sister went along real good until my sister says, well, just when are we going to get to see Donald Trump's income tax forms? I said, right after we get to see Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and Hillary Clinton's.
Real quick before we get into what we're this up, is I really don't understand the income tax and the IRS and tax forms and, let's see your tax returns and all that stuff. Because if you think about it,
it's just intimidation.
With your own group of friends, and you got the watchdogs there keeping an eye on the place. When you're with your group of friends, discuss how much money they make, how much they're getting paid per year from their company, when you're around your friends, nobody would hardly bring up how much they make. That's like, it's none of your business. Yet at the end of the year, your taxes, you have no problem filling out a form, writing it out, and submitting it to a bunch of people in Washington that you will, and you give them all your everything you make and your deductions and all that stuff. Yet when you're with your close against you have no problem doing that. And now we have people saying, well, we need to see Donald Trump's tax returns. We don't need to see anybody's tax, every year. As soon as you return how much you pay or whatever, they have to be burned. It's not what your tax returns are. So it's just, to me, your best friend, you have no problem telling some guy in Washington who has my passion, I just in my brain, I don't understand that. If somebody can tell me how that is supposed to be done.
Well, let me ask you a question. Ever heard of the vetting process?
No, I do. What's that?
When people go to get an office or they're appointed, they have to be vetted.
Yeah.
All of their financial stuff, all their political stuff, all of their history is gone through in the vetting process, isn't it?
That's correct. And that should be enough, right?
So why is it?
I don't think that's true for president. I don't think you get vetted to become president. There's no qualification in saying
that. Yeah, that's right, because we've all seen the birth certificate, right?
that's up to debate too. What constitutes? So I take it the evening went downhill from there. You go back to your story. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Tax returns?
Her husband told her that this was Chris's party to be quiet.
That's the point I make when everybody says, we need to see Donald Trump's tax returns. I go, okay, you won't give us something.
I want an audit of the doggone Foundation. An open audit of the Clinton Foundation. Which includes bingo, which includes the Ukrainian war deal and everything else. I want to see, or when they took the money that belonged to Haiti, I want to see a true audit of the Clinton Foundation.
The Fed. I'd rather see the Fed audited. I don't care about politicians. Politicians really my way. They don't help me much. But speaking of the federal government, where's the FDA when you need them or whatever? Look, I paid good money for the cigar, and there's a rip.
Oh my gosh!
What? How can products like this? How can products get to the consumer? Unconscionable. I pay good tax money to make sure my food and my drugs are safe. And here I get a ripped cigar. I'm not very happy. Where's the government?
Tobacco was only a 5-year project to pay for the World War II debt.
Luckily, it's right where I put my finger to smoke, so we're okay. I'm not pissed off yet. Okay. Not that I'm going to get pissed off with people wanting to see their tax returns or whatever, but that really kind of pisses me off. But all right, let's get on to the subject. Again, thank you for tuning in to Gale Force. I'm JD.
And I'm Gale.
And you can catch us on Facebook under Every Bit Matter you get a chance, and leave any comments if you would. You can check us on YouTube under Gale Force Creations. And I think we're going to be changing the channel name pretty soon. Gale Force. There's too many Gale Forces out there. Let me throw this one at you. The Duo.
The what?
The Duo. The two of us.
Okay.
We're looking for a new name for the show, folks. So if you have any idea or an idea for a name of a good, leave in the comments. We'd appreciate it. Oh, we want to let you know too that we will invite you to be part of the show if you have something interesting to say. We can make you part of the show here. We can invite up to 4 other guests to be part of our show, and we are looking for other people.
Live.
You don't need any special equipment. You got a laptop, you can do it on your laptop as long as you have a camera. Real easy to do. We'll get you set up, but we're looking for them. YouTube under Gale Force Creations, and under BitTube under Gale Force Creations, and blah blah blah. We'll do all that. Put the link in the bottom and all that stuff. If I ever get off my ass and start doing this kind of stuff. All right, so let's get on with the show, shall we?
Sure.
All right. Rumor has it, and I guess since it's on the internet, it's no longer a rumor. Cash and gold are disappearing. Now, not from the face of the earth, but from circulation. Damn it! I never prepare well for I'm gonna pull the article. I never prepare for the shows. Go ahead.
Okay. From my understanding, under the ever watchful eye of the government, they don't know where it's at, so they can't tax it or they can't steal it. And people are hoarding cash and gold because all the currencies around the world are starting to collapse. And even as bad as the US dollar it is, They figure holding on to U.S. dollars, gold, and silver is better than trying to hang on to try to take and go out and catch the wind.
So you think people are hiding it so the government can't steal it? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, sir. And just like with Cyprus and Greece when they stole things, they're saying, oh, no, we're not going to leave it in the bank. We're going to take and put it in a shoebox, hide underneath the bed. We're going to take and do whatever we're going to do. We're going to hide gold, silver, and cash because they're afraid the banks, just like they're going on in Libya, or is it Lebanon? Lebanon, India, several other countries that are just going in and taking money out of people's accounts. They're going into negative interest rates in Germany. Some of the banks are just going in and taking people's money every month, call it a monthly haircut.
All right,
So
here's the
gold and
article.
silver
And
are
it's
just
from Zero Hedge.
circulation. Okay?
Yeah, here's the story. It's from Zero Hedge. And here, once the show's over, the headlines is hundreds of dollars in golden cash disappearing. And,
Yes.
And something at the same time that's $1 each month into the money crunch volatility to ramp up the amount of hard physical currency and precious metals is literally disappearing. Now, you said that people are hiding the tax it or steal it. Why would you say steal? Why you think governments steal money? Is that where you're trying to go at? Or?
Taxation, theft.
Interesting. So, what the article purports is that people, especially in Germany, it seems like people are taking cash, and of course they're not putting it in the bank because you got to get interest rates. You have to pay banks in order to save your money. People are hoarding money and either are
it's not over 100,000. It's everybody.
What's that?
It's everybody. They're taking it from everybody, not just the rich people.
Oh yeah. And people are taking it and put it in their mattresses. They're burying it. There was even a story where some guy had like $100,000 that he put in an old furnace that was not working. He went on vacation, and one of his friends thought that he would help his buddy out by getting the furnace to work, and burned $1,000. No. The guy had it. So watch where you hide your money. But people are hiding cash, and believe it or not, the U.S. dollar seems to be pretty strong because that's one of the biggest currencies that's being hidden overseas. Matter of fact, that they, if I read the story again, that there's quite a bit of American $100 bills, U.S. dollars, actually being hidden in foreign countries, are stashing it because they fear something's coming up with the economy pretty soon, and they want to have some kind of cash. You know, you can't afford gold, you can afford dollar bills.
Right. Of the physical cash.
And physical.
Of physical cash, paper dollars, actual physical paper dollars, at least between 60 to 70% of all physical paper hundreds, 50s, and 20s are outside the 50 states borders, and they're hanging on to it because we're the only country in the world right now that's paying more than 1% interest. So our currency, as crappy as it is better than every other country in the world. So they're taking physical paper dollars, gold and silver and jewelry, and hiding it so the government doesn't try to steal it like they did in Lebanon, India, and everywhere else.
Yeah, you can't trust banks nowadays. Everybody, you know, a bank used to be a safe haven. You know, you trusted your neighborhood bank to keep your money safe. but the banks are actually controlled by government. The governments tell the banks what they can or cannot do, and at the flip of a switch, the government can turn off your account. You don't have access to your money, and it looks like people are starting to realize this, and they want to be safe. And instead of putting money in to where you have to pay money, people said, "I'll just keep it underneath my mattress. I'll bury it in the backyard. I'll hide it in my rafters." How the banks aren't their friends, and a bank used to be your friend. That's where you went if you needed money to start a business, or you needed a more. Your bank is no longer your friend, because when the economic collapse comes, the government's going to do what they can to save the banks. They won't give a crap about you. So people are starting to wake up on this, and they're starting to hide their money just in case that rainy day comes, and it might be coming pretty soon. Even though that numbers this last quarter seems to be pretty good, we might have averted a recession, at least on it.
Yeah, this is all about the election. Even the stuff with the doggone Democrats, the impeachment, Joe Biden and Ukraine. This is all about the election. But something you said about your local bank. About a year ago, I went down to credit union. I had to get some stuff taken care of and notarized. There was a once a year thing I had to do with my wife. It was called, kind of like proof of life, so she could get her money from Germany. And the little girl that was there at the local credit union, I've known them for 30 years. She just got back from Europe, and she'd gone through all kinds of college and seminars and got all these different awards and plaques and all this kind of stuff. And I asked her what she thought about Cyprus and Greece, and she knew nothing about it.
Oh, really?
And she did not understand the concept of fractional reserve lending. But she had a whole big group of certifications and plaques, and she didn't understand fractional reserve lending. And this was a girl who was supposed to be a teller at the bank. She didn't understand fractional reserve lending. Now, how's that for a surprise? Does that make you a blink? When even the people at the bank don't understand fractional reserve lending? The whole concept of the central bank, the Federal Reserve, and they don't understand it? Hello, JD. Are you there?
I'm here. You know what? I'm going to have to make a phone call.
How much of my rant did you hear? How much of my rant did you hear?
Where up to the point to where here she is with all these plaques, and she doesn't understand fractional reserve banking. So continue.
Correct. I mean, how can a banker or a teller do anything and they don't? Oh, they understand about how to take and create derivatives. Derivatives is betting on thin air. Fractional reserve lending and
the same
physical property are in a total different world, and she thinks that derivatives and all this stuff, and she doesn't understand fractional reserve lending, what it is.
Well, there's a reason for that. The less people that know about fractional reserve, the less people that know about fractional reserve banking, the easier it is for them to get away with stealing money. Yields money. The banks created out of thin air also. So,
well, fractional reserve lending is how they created it. What was it? And I'm going to let you do the quote. What
I'm
did
sorry.
Henry Ford say?
Oh yeah, if people understood banking or the Federal Reserve System, there would be a revolt overnight.
Correct.
So that's why they keep it a secret.
That's
And
why they don't
I
teach
think
economics in college or high school.
exactly. And that's the reason I think more and more people are starting to understand it. They don't realize what they're understanding, but they realize the banking system, something's wrong with it. And that's why all this gold and all this cash is all of a sudden disappearing. People are
Right, it's
hiding
going off the grid.
it. And
It's going
I
off
think
the
it's a
grid.
good
People
sign.
are hiding it.
I think it's a good sign that this money is disappearing. It's gonna. I think in the long run, it will be good for as we see more and more gonna come around to under. Might not be Bitcoin, might not be Ripple. We don't know, but I think more people are understanding that his government's corrupt, and that's why they're hoarding the cash. You'll see its way into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. It's a good way to keep it out of the government's hand.
Did you see the other article on Zero Hedge?
No, I didn't get a chance to look at it today.
Okay. The largest silver derivatives bond market company in China is in default. And because the derivative balance sheet for that place is so high, the Chinese government is not going to bail them out. They're going to fail.
If more governments did that. Hey, guys. If more governments did that, then maybe we'd get an honest banking system back in play.
Well, that's what derivatives do. They're a con game. It's like you and me standing out there with an adult beverage. We're betting on whether somebody's going to pick their nose or not. We have nothing in our hand. It's a bet. It's thin air. And none of us have got any of the money we're betting. We're lying to each other. But you got me this time, JD. We'll double the bet for something else.
Yeah, and they're playing it on margin.
Margins and derivatives is sooner or later when the music stops and people sit down. There's 12 people in the room, and by the time they go to sit down, there's only 2 chairs. This is why people are hoarding gold, silver, and cash.
Yep.
Or they're starting to stockpile canned goods, dry goods. They're planting their own garden. They're getting into the prepper stuff. They're buying water filtration systems. They're buying solar ovens. A year ago, you could buy a solar oven on doggone Amazon for $150. The cheapest one you can buy now is over $250. Oh, wait a minute. It's because nobody wants them or because they're disappearing?
Yeah, what's that called? Supply and demand, which they don't teach in school anymore.
Ding, ding, ding. Give the man a cigar.
No, I got one. Well, I could use a better one, but I'm getting down to the rip.
Press Maduro.
Hey, nice.
But anyway.
I like it. All right, let's get on to a second subject. But before we do, I just want to give a shout out to the Minnesota Vikings for a big win yesterday. Woo-hoo! That's my team. They did a kick-ass job. Yeah, kick-ass job. Rudy Giuliani is coming to the story with what's going on with that debunked Ukraine story that we keep hearing about.
Oh my gosh. You better you better pause this video, get a drink and sit down.
Yeah, 'cause this,
There's a news outfit called One American News Network. And they went with Rudy Giuliani to the Ukraine. They paid a
they went with
big.
them.
Oh, yes. I'll send you the link to the doggone woman that did it. They went over there, and there's a special on One American News Network. I think it's one of the links I sent you. If it's not, I'll get you another one. They went over there, and they were videotaping Giuliani talking to all his Ukrainian officials. They actually held in their hands and showed it on video the official documents about Biden, Pelosi's son, John Kerry's stepson, all the stuff they were showing, actual documents. And the corrupt people found out that a One American News Network and Rudy Giuliani were there taping all this. They put a dragnet out over the suburbs of Budapest, and they had to haul butt to get to the airport to a private jet to get out of the country because they were trying to stop all of the information that was going to get out of the Ukraine. There are still people in Ukraine that are in the deep state pocket. George Soros was even in the country trying to take and run all this stuff. And there was at least 1,000 troops or people.
It seems the NSA got a hold of us and they knocked out the last like 2 minutes of what you were talking about. So if you would, could you start all over again?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, One American News Network, they went over there and they were videotaping all these Ukrainian officials that were trying to give information. They were showing documents. They were taking and doing all this stuff. The people who were the corrupt people in the deep state, they were filming, showing how they had to escape to the airport. There was a whole line of black Mercedes and stuff like that trying to hunt them down. Tried to stop the Learjet that they escaped on because they were escaping the country with all this information that George Soros was there trying to stop them from doing. How about that for some stuff? George Soros was actually there.
Really? All right, I gotta check this story out.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to check it out.
American News Network. They've got part 1 and part 2, and part 3 is coming up. Part 1 and part 2 is on YouTube if you want to look for it. Look under One American News Network, OANN. Well, a few years ago, with the doggone immigrants, One American News Network went over to Germany, and they were getting closed-circuit television video of immigrants attacking and gang raping local women, and the police would wash it away. Oh, it didn't happen. But they had captured video from the closed-circuit television in the train station and everything else. There'd be like 8 or 10 of these immigrants, Muslim terrorists, grabbing a hold of a doggone German girl, ripping her clothes, pinning her down, ripping her clothes off, and gang raping her. And it was on closed-circuit television. Last week, the Italian government, I can't remember if this was Drudge Report or Zero Hedge, they admitted that in Italy, at least 42% of all sexual assaults and rapes in Italy are committed by immigrants.
Well, it's nice to know
Now
that some kind of media is covering what's going on.
What do you?
Yeah.
That's a doggy biscuit to chew.
Just to let everybody know of what, real quick, a recap of what's going on that you always hear from the news media is that President Trump made this phone call because Biden, who the media says is going to be his opponent. What actually happened is during the Obama administration. What's that?
You get it backwards. The president of Ukraine called Trump, talking about, is there any way they can help him out with this investigation? And Trump said, look into the Biden and his son.
Yeah, the whole story is
instigated by Trump.
Yeah, the whole story of the administration, the Obama administration gave almost $8 billion to Ukraine, and the State Department, the state. Well, let me continue just for a second here. You can correct me, which I'm sure you will, because that's why you're here. They sent them, close to $8 billion worth of aid, but the State Department, they can only account for Hunter Biden's share, which was $50,000 a month to do nothing on a board of directors for a corrupt business. And Trump, the Congress said, we need to send them, 400 worth of aid. Before he did, he wanted to make sure that they weren't corrupt anymore. And Ukraine just last year went through an election, and everybody knew in Ukraine that their government was so corrupt that they actually voted in a comedian to be the next president of Ukraine, because he ran on getting rid of the corruption. And that's what Trump was trying to do. Like, before I give you all this money, are you guys still corrupt, or where's all this? All we want to know is, where did this money go that Obama gave you? And like I said, the only money they can count for is Hunter Biden's share. So they want to know where all this money went. And this is where Joe Biden got involved and said, well, you can investigate everybody, but the companies we tell you not to investigate, because we don't want the American people to realize how much money the Democrats have sucked out. Not only Democrats, Republicans too. There are some Republicans that
it's corruption.
Have been, so it's a big corruption. And it's going to be a fast track trial for the impeachment, because there's a lot of Republicans who don't want to get caught up in this. This is like, you're going to need to all these countries. Don't give a crap what it does. Most of it's coming back to America through all our congressmen. Not only are other countries corrupt, but they're just stealing us blind. What Ukraine story is, and there hasn't been one news media that has debunked this. NBC hasn't debunked it, ABC and MSNBC, they haven't debunked it. They went by one story that was one sentence that was printed in a newspaper over a year ago that says this is all debunked. Nobody has debunked this Ukraine story. It's about to come out, and this is what Giuliani is doing. And interview below here when we get a chance. But this whole debunk about to come out, and it's not.
Well, I'm going to give you not a total correction, but Sean Hannity has been on it, and he refused to eat the doggone soup that they're trying to feed him. And One American News Network and Sean Hannity and Glenn Beck have been on this for a long time. They haven't believed any of this junk, because Joe Biden stood up before the Council on Foreign Relations and told them that he told the ex-president of Ukraine that either he gets rid of this prosecutor who's trying to prosecute his son, Nancy Pelosi's son,
Kerry.
John Kerry's stepson, that if they didn't get rid of him, he had power from Obama to hold up $100 million. And the cost was they gave Hunter Biden and Joe Biden like $8 or $9 million out of the $100 million if they got rid of this guy. And the guy they got rid of when he went out of office, he took copies or originals of official documents, and that's in the videotape, and the guy they fired has originals or copies of originals that are certified and notarized. And this is what he showed Rudy Giuliani and the girl from One American News Network, and why they had to get out of the country, because they were going to grab their ass because they didn't want that information getting out.
Get out here pretty soon, probably at the beginning of the year. Hard to believe that 2019 has gone by. And again, if you're just tuning in, I'm James.
This isn't play stuff. This is some serious junk.
Oh yeah, this it's only money. I mean, they only talk about
how many millions of dollars is sent to the Clinton Foundation, which has never been audited. It was never registered as a nonprofit charitable organization. It's never been registered anywhere.
And Ukraine they gave more money to the other government around. Lots of money. So yeah, not only is
Giuliani documents to prove that the thing for the Russiagate thing all came from Ukraine, and that's some of the documents this guy gave Rudy Giuliani. This thing could turn into a big thing.
We're hoping. At least I'm hoping. It'd be nice that.
One American News Network, or go to the YouTube channel for One American News Network, and there are videos on it there.
All right, what else do we got going on before we end the show today? Anything else there newsworthy?
There are more and more truckers getting out of work. There has been more trucking businesses, more truckers, more trucks being shut down this year than any other year. Don't give me this crap about Amazon. Amazon isn't using drones yet. They still need trucks to haul stuff. The economy is slowing down.
Even though that the Dow created a new record today.
Correct, but that is all by putting very low interest loans, and how the Dow is going up. Companies are buying back their own stock with money that's with a 0.5% interest. So they're buying back, they're taking huge loans of billions, of hundreds of billions of dollars, buying back their own stock, taking it private. Here's what people understand. The whole stock market and corporations are going private. And when this thing crashes, there will be no companies there to do anything, because they're going to take them private, because they bought back all their stock, any 401k, IRAs, mutual funds, anything you have invested in companies are going private, because the Federal Reserve is giving them free money to take them private, and the stock market is going to poof, disappear.
Well, that's a good way to end the show. Doomsday. We appreciate it.
Hey, Ford and GE have been downgraded to junk by Moody's. Think about that.
Yeah, these companies have been around for over 100 years.
See, that's fact.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in. Again, I'm JD.
And I'm Gail.
And you've been watching Gale Force here on YouTube. You can catch us on YouTube under Gale Force Creations, under Facebook under Every Bit Matters, BitTube under Gale Force, and some other places where one day I'll get off my ass and fix it so you can find us everywhere. But again, we would really appreciate it if you would just click below over here somewhere and say you like this show, and maybe even subscribe. Love that. Subscribe would be killer, as we bring you more news that the media won't. And again, we're looking for a new name for the show. Right now it's called Gale Force, but we're looking for new names. If you have a good name for a good show, let us know. We'd appreciate it. Give us a comment. And again, we'll try to do this not only on a weekly basis, but maybe a couple times a week. We'll start doing more shows like this, since if I can get my internet a little squared away here. And we appreciate you tuning in. And until next time, drink better beer. Well, this ain't beer, but just drink better anything. And we appreciate you tuning in. We do appreciate everybody who watches our videos. We appreciate it. And we'll bring you some new interesting stories in the next couple of days. So everybody, have a good Monday.
Have a good Monday.
Now, if I can get my internet to work. Oh, maybe. We're still here. I lost my mouse.
Oh, no. Call the cat. Get the cat.
I see it. I see it. I see it. I'm getting close. I need a mouse pad over here. There we go. See ya. All right. See ya. Come on, mouse. You can do it. We're so close.
Don't you just love live programs?
I tell you. Why is it not working? Come on. I would edit this out, but this is the beauty of live broadcast. All right, see ya.
They're saying the FBI are going to be after us. Who cares?